Hello there, wonderful people. I hope you are great. I am popping on today, a few days after my 40th birthday, to talk a bit about getting started. My 40th birthday is completely irrelevant, to be fair, but it feels poignant to be talking about this on such a milestone because it's obviously a real reflection point when you hit the new decade. And I've just been thinking about the things that I think if I look back and wanted, could have got some advice when I was starting to try and get my art out there, what would be three things that I would have benefited from hearing at that time? And so I wanted to go through those with you today because some of you may be just kind of still testing the waters of, how do I even get the confidence to start getting myself out there? I don't even know where to start. I feel overwhelmed. Some of you might be, I'm already doing this, but I'm not feeling like I'm getting any traction. Like maybe there's something easier or something else I should be doing. So I thought I'd just think or share three things that are really simple to take away the overwhelm and just go, right, if I could focus on three things to just start to maybe get a little bit of get the word out there of what I'm doing and start that process. Because when we're talking about building an up business, it doesn't happen in a year. It happens over time. And so you have to be making those little incremental moves to be seen and to be visible and to be heard. And that can feel really scary. So I just wanted to share three very, very simple things that can help get you moving. Now, the first one, it sounds really simple and, oh yeah, this is so obvious. But the first one is tell everyone you know about the fact that you're an artist and the fact that you create these awesome things, whatever that might be. You might be a photographer, you might be a painter like I am. Whatever it might be, tell people about what you do. Now, this sounds really obvious, but the amount of people I've coached and worked with who are kind of like, oh, yeah, I haven't even really told my neighbor who I know really well what I do. And that's just, there's two parts to this. The first is the people who know you best are always going to be the first to buy from you because the connection they have with you as a person, plus the connection that they could well get from seeing your work and go, oh my gosh, I love that. That is the ultimate two-pronged piece you need for somebody to go, I'm going to buy it. You want people to connect with you and you want people to connect with your art. If they don't know what you do, they've got no chance of being able to be a part of that. So this is so, so important. So I really just want to encourage you to get used to throwing this into conversation. And this is something I started to do. Well, I did it quite early on, really, but really started to do a few years ago when I went full time. And so I'll give you an example. I used to frequent a coffee shop when I was living in the mountains that I loved, and it was like a really great little community. You'd see the same people all the time and new people, but it was somewhere you could go, have a coffee, have a chat, and just connect. Now, what I did, and this is just how natural you can make it, is when somebody says, what have you been doing this weekend? Oh, well, actually, I've been working on a new commission. I'm actually a painter. Now, that is enough to start awareness, right? So you're not selling, you're creating awareness. And so every time you start to share these little tidbits, oh, I'm actually doing this, or I'm working on this right now, or yeah, actually, I'm thinking about doing a calendar this year, or I'm thinking about doing a notebook or a puzzle or whatever it was at that point in time that I was doing, because I was trying lots of different things at that stage with gifts, with my aunt. I would just talk about it very, very casually, authentically. It's not a, would you like to buy one? It's just a, this is what I'm up to. And then they might more often than not ask more questions, and then you might get to the point where you're showing them photos, and then all of a sudden there might be a conversation where they're like, actually that would be great just to buy those for so and so for Christmas presents. And that is inevitably what happened when I did a Christmas range of gifts and started to share people with people at the coffee shop. It was amazing how many people said, I'll have one. And it was just purely from sharing a little bit about what I was doing, and over time that conversation just kept going. So just through those relationships and networks I created, just by being friendly and communicating and sharing and being open to share what I was doing, I made a lot of sales there over time. And like I say, it wasn't about even selling. It was purely about letting people know what I was doing. And the same thing went with like just telling my doctor. or telling my hairdresser. All of those people bought from me over time because you just share what you're doing. And again, you don't even have to, there's no sales pitch involved. It's awareness. And as soon as you start to tell people enough to ask questions, share that, show them where they can actually see it. This is really important as you start to go, well, can I see a photo? Well, that's when social media obviously comes into its own, or you just send them a photo if you haven't got to that point. But being able to show them something and actually have them see, oh my gosh, I actually really like that. That's when those things just start to naturally become sales. So this is really, in essence, if you're getting going, or even if you just have an established business, if you are not telling everybody you know somewhere in conversation, how are you? What's life doing at the moment? Oh, actually, I've been working on this. It's pretty exciting. Some people won't ask any more, and that's fine, but some will ask a lot more, and many will end up buying just through naturally suddenly knowing what you do. So please, 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 if you've been selling, if you haven't sold yet at all, or you've been selling for years, please think about how often you do this, because it's just the most natural, easy way to get the word out there and to make sales. And like I say, physio, dentist, midwives, doctors, baristas, all those people have bought from me purely because I just share what I'm up to. And like I say, you don't need to go with some sales pitch. It's purely networking. And just on that note, really think about how, and I'm going to put a few notes in a little document like I always like to do that you can take and pull up and just think about after this. And that will include some prompts with this about tone. So think about how you talk about your art. Think about how you can be very positive in the words you use. Don't be really negative about what you're doing. Oh, it's not very good. Yeah, I'm not sure about it, because you'll immediately put people off. And this is a really good thing to start thinking about very early, or if you've been selling for a while, think about your tone. Positivity, tone, and confidence in what you do is contagious. So as is the negative stuff. So if you're very negative and perhaps, almost talk people out of what you're doing before you've done it, they will be put off. So really think about your tone and think about how you can start to say, because some people really struggle to talk about their art. Think about how you can construct a couple of sentences that explains what you do. Well, what kind of art do you do? Oh goodness, how do I even explain that? So actually thinking about and getting used to explaining quite briefly, but positively what you do is also a really good practice. And I think we don't think about this stuff enough, but have you written down lately kind of a sentence about, if you're in an elevator, they call it the elevator pitch, for 30 seconds, and you had to explain to somebody what you did, could you do it? And it's a really interesting thought, because half the time we have to spend maybe 5 minutes going, oh, it's kind of like this. And oh, I'm not, it's kind of got, shapes and birds. And sometimes I do this. And it's something that I've had to really work hard on, because I used to be terrible at this and still sometimes don't babble on too much. But if you can be really succinct and just explaining the kind of thing you do, that's a really great way to start to generate confidence and think about your tone as well. So I'll put a few little prompts in a document after this just to help you think about how you can start to share and talk about what you're doing really easily and authentically. And like I say, none of this is about selling. It's all about creating awareness. This is just really easy, authentic, simple marketing that sometimes feels the hardest because we're talking about people we know. But if you can start to do this, this is honestly where the snowball effect comes in over time. You really, your circle, your network starts here and it grows bigger and bigger and bigger. And please, please remember, every business is successful because of the relationships they have, the things that the people they're connected with. So if you're not telling anybody or trying to kind of do this and not, oh, I don't really want to talk about anything, I hate to break it to you, you're not going to go anywhere. You just have to get used to sharing in some way what you're doing. And if you can start with this basic in conversation, it will really help you move forward. Now, the second thing is to just think about how you can maybe join a local art group. So these can come in a variety of forms, and you can find them on Facebook, you can find them online. But I would Google things like local art society, local art group in this area, and see what pops up, and just inquire and never think, will I be too good, not good enough for this? I've kind of been involved with a few societies. There is a massive array of people involved in these groups, and it's all about supporting each other. and having a like-minded passion. So I really encourage you, especially if you're really feeling nervous about getting out there, to get involved, because they often offer opportunities to maybe exhibit as a group as well. And that can be hugely confident, a really big confidence boost. So try and join a local group. You don't have to stay forever. You might just join for a few months and go, it's not really for me. But it really just helps you start to get used to getting out there and again, networking, start to collaborate and think about how you can connect with others. And opportunities often just appear when you're doing these things. You can also look for groups like this that, have like-minded people just trying to really build confidence. And then you'll be surprised at how many people connect through this group and collaborate with exhibitions or do shared ventures with courses and classes and things like that. So these things, if you're willing to get involved, can really help you get A, confidence, and B, start to grow your network and start to see things land on your lap. And again, it's not about trying to understand what that looks like yet. It's about taking the step to join and just getting involved, taking the step to share and get involved. That's all you need to think about with all of these things from the start. Don't even think about where they lead or what might happen. That is the stuff that naturally happens when you start to do these things. The last thing I just wanted to talk about specifically, and it's kind of the same in some senses as the first step, but if you have a personal Facebook page, which many of us do, or a personal Instagram page, which many of us do, even if you haven't set up a business page and you're not there yet, or perhaps you already have a business page and you don't look at your own personal contacts much, really think about how you can just put some really authentic, hey friends, here is me actually working on a painting this weekend. I don't know how many of you know that I actually do this, but here is some photos of a new painting I'm working on. You will not believe how many people will be amazed and surprised if they have no idea what you do. You suddenly start to share this with them. And again, this is just as powerful as that first thing, in person, sharing what you're doing. We're talking about actually doing it online. And so this is starting to get you used to the idea of not only talking about what you do, but writing about what you do and trying to create those conversations online, which is so valuable as you start to get more brave and start to have a business page and share across different platforms. And there's lots of easy ways you can do this. You could share a time lapse of something you worked on. You could just share a photo of you holding your brushes going, getting into painting for the first time in 10 years. I don't know how many people here know I actually do it, but I'll show what I'm going to create with you soon. And just people love this. We really underestimate the fact that many people cannot fathom how you can paint something or fathom how you can draw something or create something with your hands. Many people struggle or cannot do this. So for them, you have a superpower. For us, we often really critique ourselves and go, oh, it's just not good enough. I'm not going to do it. They're gonna judge me. Well, really, most of the time, they're actually going to be in awe of you. So really just remember that, and remember the fact that people get very inspired by seeing things pop up on their feed or pop up from friends or family that they had no idea that you were getting back into something, or no idea that you even did something. So what I'll do as well is I'll create a few little examples of copy, different posts. I'll give you 3 or 4 that you can just grab and just practice sharing something authentic on your page. And remember, you'll want to look at these and make them your own. But I just want to show you how simple you can make it to get people engaging with what you're doing, because the more people who comment on a post on Facebook, the more people see it. So that's what you want to try and promote. But engaging with what you're doing, but also just going, oh my gosh, I can't believe you do this. This is so awesome. When are you going to sell these things? How can I buy something? Because if you do these things, that naturally comes. People naturally inquire. People naturally want to know more. So these are 3 things. Tell people, everyone you know in your networks, in a person-to-person, day-to-day life scenario. 2, joining a local art society or local groups that can help really encourage you and build confidence and knowledge. And 3, sharing on Facebook, your original Facebook that you probably set up in 2007, with everybody you know, sharing a few photos about what you're doing, if that's something that you don't already do. And all these things are very simple things, but if you do those all the time, you will be amazed at the natural progression that you will see in the sense of people talking about what you do, asking about what you do, whether they can buy what you do. It just happens naturally. And that's why I'm a huge advocate of really focusing on this authentic sharing and authentic communication with people that you like and enjoy talking to already or have them in your life already, because it's the first step to just getting a little bit of momentum. And these people often just pop up out of the woodwork as you grow anyway, continually buying from you as well. Like so many friends and family who bought from me on the day one when I first did my exhibition still buy from me every single year. And that's because they want to support me and they also like what I do, but they really want to support me too. So it's not about having a pity party. The people, not all my friends and family buy from me because not all of them like my art. And that's okay. And by the way, if you get a bit of judgment from certain people in your life, that can come up. Please don't let them stop you. Please don't let them hold you down, because inevitably in your life, at some point, you're going to be a little bit detracted and put off by these people. But this is just the kind of reality of the world and some of the people that can be in our circles. I'm very lucky. I've had a very supportive friend and family base, but I have spoken to many people who actually have very negative family members, almost perhaps jealous. And I really try and encourage you to push past them. And if these kind of posts are actually pulling them out and making this a negative experience for you, you know, you might not want to do certain things that we've talked about because of that. But I think on the whole, I'd like to think, and from what I have experienced with people I've worked with so far, most people will be all for what you're doing and very excited about what you're doing. So these are 3 things I really recommend to just make part of your everyday. Get confidence to start trying to have these conversations, sharing these things, being a part of these groups. And over time, these things really do make a difference, really do add up, and they naturally lead to sales, because awareness is everything. Being seen is everything, and, you know, being visible. So I hope you found this helpful. Like I say, I'm going to put a little document as well to kind of cover some tips and pointers and little prompts to help you do these things. These 3 things that you can download and, take some action this week. So I'll set it up in a little spreadsheet so you can actually tick those off once you've done them, or perhaps just reviewed them, and get some things in place to give you the confidence to share as we've discussed. All right, I hope you've enjoyed. As always, let me know in the comments. And if you've got any questions, I always love to hear from you. See you soon.